A warning from police after false websites pop up scamming locals out of thousands. West Fargo moves forward with in-person schooling. Plus, what does Sanford's potential merger mean for you? Valley News Live at 10 starts right now.
Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
We begin tonight with breaking news as Grand Forks and Devils Lake have both imposed mask mandates. In Grand Forks, all 7 city leaders voted unanimously in favor of the mandate tonight. It's effective immediately, pending the signature of Mayor Brandon Boshinsky, who's expected to sign it tomorrow. The mandate in Devils Lake takes effect Thursday at 8 a.m. Both mandates are similar to those in Fargo and Minot in that they have no penalty. Meanwhile, the coronavirus response coordinator in Washington, D.C. is questioning North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum's approach to the pandemic, saying it reflects the choices with many in the state not wearing a mask or social distancing. However, that led to a disagreement on whether a mask work. Jacob Noderman has more on the Deborah Birks' visit to North Dakota.
After visiting some stores and restaurants in town, Dr. Burke said that Bismarck has the lowest mask use of any place she has visited. And while her message of mask wearing is an echo of the governor's and that of many other local leaders, the requirement to wear them is where entities disagree. Federal versus state versus local. All 3 believe masks work, but none agree on where a possible mandate should come from.
There is not only an evidence that masks work, there is an evidence that public health mitigation effort works.
However, Governor Doug Burgum continued to be against a statewide mask mandate, leaving it up to mayors and individual responsibility.
We know we don't have enforcement mechanisms in North Dakota that where someone is going to force someone to wear a mask. So again, it comes back to individuals choosing the role that they want to play in the community.
Some cities have already issued a mask mandate. Burke said if enough cities get on board, the data shows improvement in their case numbers.
In some situations, individual counties and individual mayors have created a matrix that has essentially resulted in a statewide mask mandate when you add them all together.
But not all North Dakota cities are joining this matrix. Bismarck Mayor Steve Bakken has repeatedly spoken out against voting for a mask mandate in his city. However, he hinted at a mandate being more useful if it were statewide.
Just because of our mobility in the state of North Dakota and our surrounding states, just by our rural nature, we're mobile. And unless you're doing something across the board, then what's the effect you're going to have locally?
Meanwhile, the Bismarck City Commission is expected to vote on a mask mandate tomorrow night. Similar to the mandates of Fargo and Minot, this mandate wouldn't carry any penalty, and it comes at a time when Burke said, with the numbers we're seeing and the weather we're facing, she doesn't see improvements to our trend line soon unless there's a significant change.
There are now nearly 6,500 active coronavirus cases in North Dakota. 173 patients are hospitalized. West Fargo School District is moving forward with bringing students back to in-person schooling. District leaders reaffirmed that tonight while voting in favor of revising its return-to-learn plan. The district wants to begin grades pre-K through 5, followed by grades 6 through 8, and finally grades 9 through 12.
What we are learning now through the governor's office, through the North Dakota Department of Health, is that we're not seeing the connection between the instructional model and the mitigation of spread in the community.
In revising its return-to-learn plan, the instruction model for West Fargo schools will not be tied to a state or county risk level. The district would continue with either the distance, hybrid, or majority reentry models and keeps the virtual program as an option for families. Sanford and Essentia hospitals say positive COVID-19 tests and potential exposures by the healthcare workers have forced them to rely on travel nurses to help care for their patients in a critical time.
They are very hard to come by, as you can imagine, with every part in the country negotiating or trying to get travelers into their communities.
Vetter adds that most healthcare workers' exposure happens outside of the hospital, which has Essentia putting extra emphasis on COVID precautions and safety for their staff. Sanford Health says that since July, they've hired 152 temporary nurses, and Essentia says this week alone, they have 15 extra hands on deck. Early in-person voting is underway in Grand Forks at the Alaris Center. Polls are open this week from 10 in the morning until 6 at night. On Saturday from 10 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. On November 2nd from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. On Election Day, you can cast your ballot from 7 in the morning till 7 at night. Remember, masks are required in city buildings. Jury trials in North Dakota that were set to start between tomorrow and Friday have been continued. The judge who signed off on the order says it's being done to protect public health and to reduce the size of gatherings. The judge also authorized video and telephone conferencing for certain hearings. This will remain in effect until December 25th. There's breaking news on a missing woman in Minnesota. Authorities are saying 80-year-old Andrea Andy Nyberg was found dead tonight near Cambridge, Minnesota. Authorities said that Nyberg was found well off the road in an unharvested cornfield. Nyberg, whose family said she struggled with some level of dementia, was last seen Friday near the city of Mora, Minnesota. In tonight's schemes and rip-offs, a website claiming to sell kittens in the Fargo area is not what it seems. Police say people have been scammed out of thousands of dollars. Valley News Team's Katie Opperly explains.
Fargo police are warning you about this website. It claims there are kittens for sale in Fargo, but if you try to buy one, you'll be out the money and without a kitten.
An individual reached out to us through our website from Arizona, claiming that they are having some issues with this cat breeder that lives or claimed to be local here in Fargo.
That person told police they've lost more than $2,000, paying fees for adoption, vaccines, shipping, a city permit, and an additional request for $1,000 for COVID-related fees.
One of the hardest things I have to do is to tell people that they're probably never going to see that money again.
Schindeldecker says immediately after looking at the website, she knew it was most likely a scam. Grammar and punctuation issues are just one of the many red flags. And a little digging shows even more troublesome signs. Although the website shows the location of their business pinned in the downtown Fargo area, when you come to the address listed on that website, it brings us here, a residential neighborhood in South Fargo. If you give them a call,
your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
No answer. And an email exchange shows more typos, reluctancy to be able to see the kittens, and refusal to answer when they are asked if they are a scam.
BBB Scam Tracker, which is BBB's free public tool to report suspicious activity, shows one heartbreaking story after another.
The kitten scam is just one example impacting our region. The Scam Tracker, showing a report to the BBB, says this person in Moorhead was scammed out of upwards of $60,000 after trying to buy a puppy. That's why it's important to avoid buying before seeing the animal in person, checking references for the website, and never wire money, as this offers no customer protection. In Fargo, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.
And authorities say if you think you've come across a scam, report it to the Better Business Bureau and the Federal Trade Commission so that others don't fall victim. Later on Valley News Live at 10, a historic vote in the U.S. Senate tonight, the impact it will have on the nation's high court. But first, Hutch has a warming forecast for the week ahead.